never been beaten in a toughest obstacle course race, but there was a moment in Copenhagen last year when he lost the lead. If you were to be beaten this season, what would it take? I think it's only a matter of time until I am beaten. I mean, as courses get a lot more competitive and courses change as well. I mean, some are shorter, some are longer, some have got more technical obstacles, some have got easy obstacles, some have more swimming, some have less. So that's what it's going to come down to. Different athletes are probably going to be suited to different courses. I mean, that's the way it should be. There's no way that I should really be able to win all of them. I mean, one of my main weaknesses is swimming, so a course with a lot of swimming, and you'd kind of hope that I'd be struggling there. I think having more fast lanes in the toughest races is going to make things a lot more interesting as well, because obviously running is my main strength, and now there's going to be 6 to 7 fast lanes where people can get one up on me if I'm unable to do them because they're better obstacles. So that's going to be really exciting to see, and hopefully I'll be able to manage, but I wouldn't be surprised if I'm beaten this year. So question number 2. Going into this year's toughest tour, who is the biggest competition? And what have you been doing to make sure you're going to be the tour winner of 2016? I think toughest as an obstacle race has the most competitive field probably out of the entire world, to be honest. I mean, I've competed in Australia, America, Europe, and I've just found toughest races have got the best races out there. Standout competitors from last year probably have to be David Nordstrom. He's, I think, top 15 cross-country skier in Sweden. He's great at the obstacles. He works on his running a lot as well during the summer, so he's really strong. Krista Selman, he was the winner of the 2014 toughest tour, and obviously going to the UK, we're going to have some UK competitors, the likes of Ross McDonald, Connor Hancock. I'm sure they'll be travelling down to toughest in Pippingford, and I think they'll be travelling out to some of the other races in Scandinavia as well, so that'll be really interesting to see how they mix in. Connor got a little taste of toughest last year, did a few events, so should be interesting to see how he does, because he's already seen some of the obstacles as well. So what have I been doing in preparation? To be honest, this year I've just been doing things I enjoy, so I've just been training how I want to train. You only live once, so I'm not really going to be doing anything I don't enjoy, so hopefully it'll be enough to see some performances on par with what I had last year, but yeah, I'm excited to see how it's going to go. So question number 3. Looking ahead to Toughest London, there are 2 main aspects, the obstacles and the terrain. Looking at the terrain first, what advice would you have in training for 8 kilometres over typical Pippingford Park terrain? I guess lots of running, and especially running in terrain. Pippingford has got some pretty gnarly terrain. It's definitely not sort of flat path running, so getting into some gnarly terrain. It's also not mountainous there, but it's very hilly, so a lot of hill running as well. Say 8 kilometres is a pretty intense race distance, so a lot of intense workouts, especially intervals and threshold runs in terrain as well, because that's what you're going to be faced with on the day, are going to help a lot. Question number 4. Now, looking at the toughest London obstacles, the course map has been released. What do you think will be the toughest 3 obstacles for the elite wave? I think what people find difficult is going to depend on their strengths and weaknesses. Some obstacles are better for people that have a very static strength. Some obstacles are better for the people that have got a very dynamic strength. But as I said, what will make it interesting is the number of fast lanes compared to last year, especially the ones we haven't seen before. There's going to be quite a few that are new this year, things like the swinging pegboard and the spinning wheel traverse, things like that. Question number 5. Now, looking at each of those obstacles in turn, what kind of training can be done in the next 2 to 3 weeks to be able to beat these obstacles on the day? Well, I think a lot of these obstacles, it comes down to a lot of grip strength. So going climbing really helps your grip strength, but from London, we're 2 to 3 weeks out now, so there's not actually that much time to work on your grip strength and improve that strength. But what you can improve is technique. Travelling to Malmo to visit the toughest lab is probably the best way of doing this. Obviously it's not perfect, it's not in the UK, but that's somewhere where you can actually practice on the obstacles they're going to have there on the day. If not, looking at videos, especially videos from last year on how people do the obstacles, and trying to replicate that wherever you can, looking at how people sort of use their body and their body weight to help themselves be doing the obstacles, so it takes less strength to actually do them. I think that's probably going to be one of the best ways to improve now, considering the race is just around the corner. Question number 6, fast lanes. Last year in the Tour final Gothenburg, you took the rope climb over the salmon ladder. What is your strategy for fast lanes during the races, and any advice on when to take a fast lane? I think taking a fast lane is a tactical decision, at least in the competitive wave it is. Even if you can do all the fast lanes, it may not be wise to actually do them on the day of the race, because you might actually be able to do one of the normal lanes faster and better and safer than one of the fast lanes. Even though you can do the fast lane on a good day, it might be better to actually take the normal lane on that particular day. Some obstacles, I'd make this decision the day before, because I just look at them and think, well, I'm not strong enough to do that, or that's a little bit risky for me no matter what position I am in the race. And then some obstacles, it will be literally as I run up to them, I'll think, what position am I in, can I afford the risk, am I confident with this obstacle, all these sorts of things. Especially, it can change with the weather as well. England's known for its rain. A lot of these obstacles are sort of grip strength hanging obstacles where some rain in the air can make a big difference. So it's going to make it a lot harder to grip onto things that are wet. So it can really come down to literally just 30 seconds before you come up to the obstacle as to whether I'm going to sort of try the fast lane or not. It also depends on where the obstacle is during the race as well. The first half of the race, for me at least, is very high heart rate, and I'm not really sort of settled into a running rhythm, and it's a bit more frantic. So that means it's actually harder to take the fast lanes because you haven't sort of calmed down enough to concentrate on them, whereas in the last 4K you've got into more of a running rhythm and you're more relaxed and you can concentrate on them a bit more. Finally, any last minute advice for those in the elite qualifying open waves? I think, like normal, having fun first and foremost, just enjoy the experience. The great thing with toughest is you can challenge yourself on tougher obstacles by using the fast lanes, but remember, just getting there and just doing it and getting outside and doing the race is the most important thing. So have fun and well done.